Hello everyone, this is 설찬 영어. Today is our 761st day of studying English. We can learn the rules of English composition from 독양영 문법. And we can build a strong foundation of English composition from 청개구리 영단어 3300. And we can concentrate on the training of making correct English sentences from 도전영자광 수능영단어 9900. A series of 3 books, also known as 가위바위보. After completing all these 5 English study books, we can focus on the training of speaking English fluently and naturally. Today is the 14th day we are in this intensive speaking training in the form of 100 questions and answers. Now, let's get started. Today's question is 건강을 유지하기 위해 뭘 하시나요? 자, 백문백답 14회 질문을 이렇게 뽑았습니다. 건강을 유지하기 위해 뭘 하시나요? 자, 이런 질문을 받았을 때 여기에 대해서 자기가 하고 싶은 말을 일단 영작을 해가지고 그 말을 입에서 술술 자연스럽게 나올 수 있도록 집중적으로 말하기 훈련을 하는 겁니다. 자, 가볼게요. 건강을 유지하기 위해 뭘 하시나요? What do you do to keep fit? 자, 이렇게 해볼 수가 있을 거예요. What do you do to keep fit? What do you do to keep fit? 자, 이 질문에 대해서 이렇게 한번 답을 해봤습니다. 저는 사실 일하는 과정에서 충분히 몸을 움직이고 있습니다. 그래서 따로 운동하지 않아도 건강을 유지할 수 있습니다. 자, 이렇게 얘기를 해봤어요. I'm actually getting enough activity during my working hours, so I can stay fit without doing any extra exercise. 자, 이렇게 해봤습니다. I'm actually getting enough activity during my working hours during my working hours, so I can stay fit without doing any extra exercise. exercise. I'm actually getting enough activity during my working hours, so I can stay fit without doing any extra exercise. 자, 그리고 또 이렇게 얘기를 해봤습니다. 그러나 저는 육체의 아름다움을 위해 시간을 내서 근육 운동을 하고 있습니다. But I take some time out and exercise to strengthen my muscles for physical beauty. 자, 이렇게 해봤어요. But I take some time out and exercise to strengthen strengthen my muscles muscles for 육체의 아름다움 physical beauty physical beauty. But I take some time out and exercise to strengthen my muscles for physical beauty. 매일 출근 전에 턱걸이와 쪼그려 앉아뛰기, 쪼그려 앉아 일어나기, 복근 운동을 늘 하기로 하고 있습니다. Each day before work, I make it a rule to do pull-ups, squats, and abdominal crunch. 자, each day before work, I make it a rule to do pull-ups, 그 다음에 쪼그려 앉았다 일어나기, squat, squats, and 복근 운동, abdominal crunches, abdominal crunches, crunches. Each day before work, I make it a rule to do pull-ups, squats, and abdominal crunches. 턱걸이는 지난 3월부터 2개부터 시작했습니다. I've started pull-up exercise since last March, going from 2 reps in a row. I've started pull-up exercise since last March, going from going from 2 reps. reps, repetition이죠. 반복 횟수, repetition, reps. 2 reps예요. 3가 아니라 2 reps in a row. 연속해서 2회. 요거부터 시작했다. I've started pull-up exercise since last March, going from 2 reps in a row. 욕심 부리지 않고 한 달에 하나씩만 늘려가는 식으로 하자 해서 7월 현재는 6개씩 3세트를 합니다. I decide to add only 1 rep per month, trying not to be greedy. So as of July, I'm doing 3 sets of 6 reps. I decide to add only 1 rep per month. 한 달에 한 개씩만 올리기로 하고서 month. 욕심 부리지 않고 trying not to be greedy. trying not to be greedy. So as of today가 아니라 7월이니까 July. As of July, I'm doing 3 sets of 6 reps. I decided to add only 1 rep per month, trying not to be greedy. So as of July, I'm doing 3 sets of 6 reps. 최종 목표는 10회씩 3세트를 하는 것입니다. My final goal is 3 sets of 10 reps. My final goal is 3 sets of 10 reps. My final goal is 3 sets of 10 reps. 예정대로 턱걸이를 계속하면 11월에는 10회씩 할 수 있다는 계산이 나오는데 과연 10회씩 3세트가 가능할지 궁금하네요. 11월이 기다려집니다. 자, 이렇게 봤어요. If I continue pull-up exercise as scheduled, I'm slated to do 3 sets of 10 reps in a row. I'm wondering if it's possible for me to achieve this goal. I can't wait for this November. 자, if I continue pull-up exercise as scheduled, I'm slated to do 3 sets of 10 reps. In November. I'm wondering if it's possible for me to achieve this goal. I can't wait for this November. If I continue pull-up exercise as scheduled, I'm slated to do 3 sets of 10 reps in November. I'm wondering if it's possible for me to achieve this goal. Achieve this goal. I can't wait for this November. 스쿼트 운동은 먼저 어깨 너비로 다리를 벌리고 발가락을 앞으로 향하고 선 다음 쪼그려 앉았다가 일어서기를 반복합니다. For the squat exercise, first I stand with my feet shoulder length apart, toes facing front, and I squat and stand up repeatedly. 자, for the squat exercise, first I stand with my feet shoulder length apart. 다음에 toes 발가락이죠. toes는 facing 해요. toes facing front, 앞쪽을. front. and I squat. 쪽으로 앉는 거죠. squat and stand up. repeatedly. For the squat exercise, first I stand with my feet shoulder lengths apart, toes facing front, and I squat and stand up repeatedly. 현재 50회씩 3세트를 기구를 사용하지 않고 진행하고 있습니다. Now I'm doing 3 sets of 50 reps of squats without any equipment. Now, 파란색. Now I'm doing 3 sets of 50 reps of squats without any equipment. Now I'm doing 3 sets of 50 reps of squat without any equipment. 이 운동은 자세가 중요해요. 자세를 제대로 하지 않으면 고통스럽거나 심지어 부상을 당할 수도 있어요. When you squat, the posture is important. Not using proper squat posture could be painful and even result in injury. 자, when you squat, the posture is important. Not using proper squat posture could be painful and even result in injury. 부상을 당할 수도 있다. When you squat, the posture is important. Not using proper squat posture could be painful and even result in injury. 엉덩이를 뒤로 쭉 내밀고 뒤꿈치와 발가락을 땅에 붙이고 무릎을 약간 벌리고 허리와 어깨를 편 상태로 깊이 앉아 쪼그려 앉는 자세를 취합니다. Drive your hips back and sit deep into squat position while keeping heels and toes on the ground. Knees slightly open. 허리와 어깨를 편 상태로. Chest up and shoulders back. 이렇게 볼 수가 있겠죠. 자, drive your hips back and sit deep into, 그래서 이걸 만들어. into a squat position while keeping heels and toes on the ground. 무릎을 약간 벌리고 knees slightly open. knees slightly open. 허리와 어깨를 편 상태로 chest up and shoulders back. Drive your hips back and sit deep into squat position while keeping heels and toes on the ground, knees slightly open, chest up and shoulders back. 허벅지가 바닥과 평행하게 되게, 즉 무릎이 직각이 되도록 애를 씁니다. Strive to make your thighs reach parallel to the floor, meaning your knees are bent to a 90-degree angle. Strive to make your thighs reach parallel to the floor, meaning your knees are bent to a 90 degree to a 90 degree degree angle. Strive to make your thighs reach parallel to the floor, meaning your knees are bent to a 90 degree angle. 자, 복근 운동 이야기는 언젠가 다음에 해드릴게요. I'll tell you about the story of my abdominal crunch exercises some other time. I'll tell you about the story of my abdominal, A-B-D-O-M-I-N-A, abdominal crunch exercise, C-R-U-N-C, crunch exercise, exercises, some other time. I'll tell you about the story of my abdominal crunch exercises some other time. 자, 이렇게 백문백답 14회 질문에 대해서 답을 해봤습니다. 자, 이번에는 오늘 한 이 14회하고 저번 시간에 했던 13회, 12회, 11회, 10회까지 총 5개의 질문에 대한 답변, 요거를 기억을 잘 다듬어서 자, 눈을 감고 한번 시도를 해보겠습니다. What do you do to keep fit? I'm actually getting enough activity during my working hours, so I can stay fit without doing any extra exercise. But I take some time out and exercise to strengthen my muscles for physical beauty. Each day before work, I make it a rule to do pull-ups, squats, and abdominal crunches. I've started pull-up exercise since last March, going from 2 reps in a row. And I decided to add only 1 rep per month, trying not to be greedy. So as of July, I'm doing 3 sets of 6 reps. My final goal is 3 sets of 10 reps. If I continue pull-up exercise as scheduled, I'm slated to do 3 sets of 10 reps in November. I'm wondering if it's possible for me to achieve this goal. I can't wait for this November. For the squat exercise, first I stand with my feet shoulder lengths apart, toes facing front, and I squat and stand up repeatedly. Now I'm doing 3 sets of 50 reps of squats without any equipment. When you squat, the posture is important. Not using proper squat posture could be painful and even result in injury. Drive your hips back and sit deep into squat position while keeping heels and toes on the ground. Knees slightly open, chest up, and shoulders back. Strive to make your thighs reach parallel to the floor, meaning your knees are bent to a 90 degree angle. I'll tell you about the story of my abdominal crunch exercises some other time. Mention one weirdest, crazy thing you've ever come across. After a lot of thought about how to live my life, right after my military discharge, I finally decided I'll go back to Seoul again. After I managed to get a train ticket to Seoul Station, I went up to Seoul without a cent, with no definite plan. Though I didn't have a penny to my name, I had the confidence that I could live. I could start my soul life again. Both because I'd lived in Seoul for about a year before I entered the army, and because it had not been long since I got discharged from military duty. First of all, I need to take care of my room and board, so I find a newspaper agency that could provide a place to stay and food to eat, so I started delivering newspapers there. Yearning for a bright future, I began to live in the small, crowded dorm room, interacting closely with other dorm mates. Then one day, in the dorm, there lived several aspiring youngsters who were in a similar situation like me, delivering newspapers. One day, one of my dorm mates called me out to talk to me, and I went out after him. And as soon as we had stood face to face to talk, then I awoke to find myself lying on the hospital bed. Why am I lying here? Later, I came to know that he had swung his fist at me as soon as we had stood face to face to talk, and I had fallen and fainted. I was dumbfounded by a sudden incomprehensible act because I had nothing against him personally. I learned in person that I could be an object of hatred by somebody without even knowing it. With this sincere apology and no superficial wound, I counted myself lucky to regain my consciousness, and I forgave him, and he vowed to study harder for our individual success. At that time, we each had a dream. When did you fall in love for the first time? My family had lived in the same house with our landlord's family since I was an elementary school boy. One of the landlord's daughters was the same age as me, but she was one grade below me. When we were in elementary school, we sometimes argued with each other, and in severe cases, we shouted and swore at each other. And then we became middle school students. And there came a day that I realized she was not the same player. First, she called me differently. She began to call me Oppa. Suddenly, she became an obedient and shy girl, being nice to me. Cupid had shot his arrow right through her heart, and she opened her eyes to love towards me earlier than I. And in turn, her enthusiastic and lovely attitude towards me made me open my eyes to love towards her. That was when I was in the third year of middle school and she was in the second year of middle school. At the bare mention the word first love, my heart aches. Whenever I get emotional, I miss her like crazy. Are you great at memorizing things? If so, tell me how you memorize English sentences. Frankly, I'm not great at memorizing things. I've seen a person who is really great at memorizing. Who is really great at memorizing. I was surprised to see her memorize exactly the same paragraph made up of 6 to 7 sentences, word for word, after reading it just once at a normal speed. On that day, I came to realize that my memory span is not good. Her memory power was prohibitively strong, forcing me to envy her powerful memory span. But I consoled myself with the thought that I just need more time than those memory geniuses. When it comes to memorizing just one sentence, I'm second to none. It's probably because I can freely use the knowledge of English grammar. But I have difficulty in memorizing the whole paragraph at a time because my memory span is not great. It's not large enough to deal with it. So I need simple repetition. Here's my method. Let's say I memorize one paragraph composed of 10 sentences. First of all, I memorize the first sentence. When I successfully memorize it 3 times in a row without a single mistake, I memorize the second sentence. When I successfully memorize it 3 times in a row without a single mistake, I memorize the first sentence and the second sentence all together. When I successfully memorize them 3 times in a row without a single mistake, I memorize the third sentence. When I successfully memorize it 3 times in a row without a single mistake, I memorize the first sentence, the second sentence, and the third sentence all together. When I successfully memorize them 3 times in a row without a single mistake, I memorize the fourth sentence. In this way, if I continue memorizing, after a certain amount of time, I can find myself memorizing the entire paragraph completely. You know, there's a saying, if you don't have a dime, use 2 nickels. If you were given a chance to relive a day from your life, which day would it be? Well, I have some special days when I felt so happy, and I want to relive one of my special days when I crossed the finish line of 42.195 km full course marathon race in 3 hours and 20 minutes or so. On that day, I felt like I finally made it. I can't forget this special day when my heart overflowed with joy, confidence, and pride. I was in my mid-30s then, I guess. In fact, when I was 20, a friend of mine said he was going to take part in a 20-kilometer half marathon race, and he suggested to me that I should participate in that marathon race together with him. So I said yes, counting on my tenaciousness. I had never run that long distance, and I never practiced, and I never prepared for the marathon race, but I agreed to his suggestion. Because I ran fast from the beginning in that race, I felt much stress in my knees. So, when I ran about 10 kilometers, I was eager to give up the race, but I didn't. With clenched teeth, I ran and ran, enduring the pain in one of my knees. But later, my knee was too painful to keep running. But without giving up, I walked with a limp at a snail's pace, saying to myself, "You must cross the finish line, if you have to crawl, even if you have to crawl. Do not become a loser. Never give it up. Do not disgrace yourself." So I finally crossed the finish line within the 2.5 hour time limit. But due to the aftermath, I had to have my leg cast for more than a month. So this time, I had practiced running long enough before I participated in the full course marathon race. This strategic success without injury added bliss to my achievement today. Now, this is all for today. Thank you for watching this video until the end. Please subscribe to this channel and hit the like button if you think this video is helpful for you. Thank you so much. Have a nice day and see you again in the next video. Bye.